Huddle up on Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. A lot to talk about. A major coaching change at the University of Nebraska involving the softball program. We'll tell you about that coming up. Dylan Carey of Nebraska has been named a finalist for the 2026 Brooks Wallace Award, given each year to the top shortstop in the country. Nebraska Kearney head football coach Ryan Held made a major announcement yesterday regarding next year's football team. Tell you about that coming up. Texas Tech will play Texas tonight in the first game of the championship series at the Women's College World Series down in Oklahoma City. Hastings Sodbusters and the Grand Island Fighting Cranes were on the field again last night at Ryder Park in GI. We'll tell you how they did. Plenty of Legion baseball to talk about this morning. The Stanley Cup got underway last night with Las Vegas playing Carolina. NBA Championship Series gets underway tonight as New York will play at San Antonio. And coming up this weekend, Saturday, you've got the 68th annual Shrine Bowl football game at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Josh Lewis, the head football coach at Adams Central, is among the coaches getting the South All-Stars ready to go for the ball game on Saturday. And we'll talk with Josh Lewis on the program today. Also, the Nebraska men's basketball team is getting ready for their summer workouts. Yeah, we're going to be talking men's basketball on the show today. We're going to be hearing from Fred Hoiberg, the head coach for the Huskers. So all that and more is coming up for you this morning here on Huddle Up as we welcome in the main man from the Western Studios. Good morning. Welcome back. We missed you. We missed you, my man. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks. I'm anxious to get back and just talk to somebody other than a doctor and my mother and a nutritionist. That's nice. It's been 5 days of straight hell, dude. I wouldn't wish this on my own worst enemy unless they're a Texas or Colorado fan. But yeah, this is it's been going, making the rounds, and it pretty much just kicked my ass, and hopefully we're slowly trying to get back into reality, and this is the first little step. I figure if I can put up talking with you for an hour, then I can do little by little each day, and hopefully by the end of the weekend we're starting to hit a stride. But yeah, fun weekend off. You know how it always goes. You get your all looking forward to a weekend with no responsibilities and plenty of boxes to check off for summer fun, and then you wake up on Friday night and you're puking your guts out. And I'm not going to go into all the details because we join us at the breakfast table, so to speak, and I don't think any of what I had over the course of the last 5 days is breakfast table worthy. But yeah, we're back. Neurovirus, SMC.
Not good.
No, it's been bad.
Yeah, the IT guy stepped in with you. Did a great job with us the past couple of days. We figured that your virus was brought on after Texas beat Nebraska in the softball World Series, and then Texas went on and going to play for the national championship tonight against Texas Tech. We figured that the success that Texas had over the weekend and now stretching into the championship round of the World Series kind of put you over the top of the weekend.
No, that was just the cherry on the top, really. When the softball team fell, the baseball team was just going through their deal with not being able to throw strikes. And, I'm sitting there and I'm already miserable. I'm on the couch. I'm like, well, I might as well watch softball and baseball and at least try to salvage the weekend out of it. And then you have to watch Burnt Orange hit that 3-run shot, and that just got me even more sick. I think I threw up a couple times after that, and that wasn't even the sickness. That was just because I hate Texas that bad. Didn't even know they were playing for the Natty. Didn't care after Nebraska lost, to be honest with you. I forgot that softball still existed on the planet. So don't care who is it. You said Tech in Texas tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight.
Yeah, literally. Go Tech, I guess, but I don't care.
Don't turn your TV on tonight. We don't want you to have a relapse in your recovery when Texas is on the tube tonight playing for a Natty. So we don't want you going to a relapse.
No, there's not much. What? It's Texas or the NBA Finals, so barf.
Yeah, you got the NBA Finals starting
I'll
tonight.
just play video games tonight.
San Antonio and the New York Knicks. The Vision boys, they've been talking all week long about how heavily bet the New York Knicks are in the championship series. If New York wins, Vegas is going to lose a lot of money.
If New York wins?
Yeah.
Man.
Everybody's bet New York heavily. So if New York wins, Vegas is going to have to pay out.
Well, New York's got to be the favorite, aren't they?
Well, there's a lot of money bet on New York.
Oh, so San Antonio will win.
Yeah, so, yeah, probably. So, yeah, if New York wins, Vegas is going to have to pay out a lot of money.
I don't know. I didn't watch any of it, but got surprised over the weekend. I kind of told you going into OKC is like going into a fortress, and I didn't know if San Antonio was going to be able to have the guns to pull that off, but knocking off Oklahoma City in Game 7 in OKC, you gotta pay attention to that. And it's a San Antonio team that they've been miserable for the last 3 years, and Wemby's finally healthy and doing everything that they thought he was going to be able to do. And I don't know, it'll be an interesting test. New York is just a machine, though. They're so well built. From like 1 to 5, they don't have any weaknesses. I think San Antonio really, it's Wemby or bust. So we'll see.
New York's on a roll during the postseason.
They've been kicking ass.
Yeah, I was going to pull up the numbers, but yeah, they're on a roll during the postseason. The game tonight will be in San Antonio. They'll start things off in San Antonio, 7:30 starting time on ABC. Might as well get hockey in here as well. The first game of the Stanley Cup was last night. Las Vegas, the Golden Knights.
Boo.
They came back to beat Carolina last night by a score of 5-4. So Game 2 coming up tomorrow night in Carolina. The Vegas Golden Knights go up 1-0 on Carolina, winning the first game by a score of 5-4.
Anybody but Vegas. I
Why
don't
do
know.
you say that? You're not a Las Vegas Golden Knights fan either?
No. Well, I'm exhausted from Vegas. Like, first of all, the problem I have with Vegas is they came in as an expansion team and were immediately good. Like, that shouldn't happen. You have to pay your dues as an NHL team. Kind of like Utah. They came in and made the playoffs this year. I'm like, what the hell? Pay your dues first as an expansion franchise. So Vegas didn't even have to do that, but they've been so good for so long, and I'm just getting a little exhausted from Vegas constantly being there. And, it's time for Rod Brind'Amour to hoist a cup, and I'm definitely going for Carolina in the series. Plus, they got the old 94 Hartford Whaler attachment to it, and so, there's that kind of fun. Definitely pulling all for Carolina. Thought it was a good game last night for what I was able to at least watch this morning. I forgot about it, ended up falling asleep trying to get some rest, but 5-4 winner for Vegas, so it should be a good series. I think this one's got all the ingredients to go 7. Which is, I think, what the market wants and the NHL wants to see. So this one, it's hard to split them. They're both really even in terms of numbers, metrics, paper. I put the eye test on them during the playoffs. They look to be two very similar hockey styles. So this one should be fun, and a 5-4 overtime winner is proof of that. Either way, it's going to be entertaining hockey. I'm just tired of Vegas.
I'm looking forward to maybe Vegas hoisting the cup because I'm going to Vegas this summer, and maybe I can celebrate with the Vegas faithful out there this summer. Like I needed another reason to celebrate. But anyway, Las Vegas and Carolina going again. Game 2 will be tomorrow night. NBA first game of the series tonight. New York playing at San Antonio, so that brings you up to date there. A couple of notes in the NFL. We've had some interesting trades here the past couple of days that Shane and I have talked about on the show. But the Atlanta Falcons, they were in the news yesterday. They made their wide receiver Drake London one of the highest paid players in franchise history. The Falcons and London came to terms on a 4-year, $141 million contract extension. That includes $100 million in guaranteed money. Now, London can earn up to $150 million if he reaches incentives in a deal, which would put him under a contract with the Falcons through the 2030 season. The $35.25 million average annual value of London's new deal makes him the NFL's third highest paid wide receiver.
We've been talking about some of these free agent deals the past couple weeks, and my only observation is there are some very average NFL players that have some very damn good agents. Drake London is an average NFL receiver. I'm not afraid. I said it. He's not that great. He's not certainly worthy of being the third highest paid NFL receiver. He's got a damn good agent, and all that does is just set the bar for like everybody that's above Drake London to then make more money. So everybody that's above Drake London in terms of like the grade, the depth chart, the eye test, you can go shake Drake London's agent's hand because he has just paved the way for you to make a shit ton more money because he's, again, an average player. Like, again, I see some of these deals. We had one the other day. I don't remember exactly who it was. That was before the sickness, like pre-sickness. But I shook my head because I'm like, that's an average player. Drake London is an average NFL receiver that's now just made bank.
Let's see. He was drafted 8th overall in 2022. In his first 4 seasons in the NFL, you're right, just marginal numbers, 309 catches, 3,961 yards, 22 touchdowns last year. He sat out 5 games with an injury, 68 catches, 919 yards, 7 touchdowns in 12 games. So he's got some good numbers, and certainly he's going to get paid, obviously, for his first 4 years in the league, but he's the third highest paid wide receiver now in the league behind Cincinnati's Jamar Chase and Seattle's Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
And Jigba's at $42.15 million per year. Jamar Chase at $40.25 million per year. And now London's at $35.25 million.
And those are the 2 receivers that deserve to be in that category, right? Like Smith and Jigba and Jamar Chase, but you throw Drake London into the mix, and it's like, man, what are we doing? But again, you're setting the pay scale up, and they expect to see some bigger deals and teams trying to lock some of their star receivers down.
I'm trying to think. Shane and I were talking fantasy football rosters the past couple of days.
Wow. You guys are starting early trying to beat me.
Well, I'm sure London was taken in our league, but it's not one of those guys that really pops off and say, "Oh boy, you got a hell of a pick there." You didn't have
like
on your
fourth. He's like 4th, 5th round. Material.
But yeah, he just makes bank. Could earn up to $150 million. So goody for him. The Pittsburgh Steelers and their linebacker Nick Herbig agreed to a 4-year, $100 million extension yesterday. It includes $42 million in guaranteed money. Herbig recorded an interception to go along with 7.5 sacks last year, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. Had a career-high 18 quarterback hits in 2025. So there you go, Nick Herbig agreeing to a 4-year, $100 million contract extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That doesn't trip your trigger at all?
No, I have no idea who that guy is.
You have no idea who he is.
No.
He just made $100 million in a contract extension.
Must be nice. I wish he knew who I was.
Yeah, God. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. Again, you can certainly chime in with us, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to chime in on our social media sites, leave us a message. You can leave us a message too. Shane is already chiming in. The over-under on goals last night was 5.5 in the Stanley Cup, and it turned out to be 9, 5-4. Kind of wonder if the IT guy is betting hockey. You wouldn't think to the IT guy, after being on the show for 2 days, we got him enthused, and he's actually behind the scenes betting hockey on us. He informs us that the over-unders on the Stanley Cup last night were at 5.5, and it went over. Let's see, the Chief is chiming in. That's a great sign by the Steelers. TJ Watt is not spring chicken anymore, so need to start building depth behind him. So Herbig, he signs for $100 million. I didn't know that Fred was going to be before the media yesterday in Lincoln. Nebraska is starting their summer workouts here next week, and Fred held his off-season news conference with us yesterday, and we'll hear from him a couple of times here today, and then we'll dive into more what he had to say tomorrow. But anyway, Fred Hoiberg getting ready for another season with the Huskers. Nebraska signing 6 players off the transfer portal. Damon Wilkinson, Taj DeGorville, Caden Betts, Bowden Kapke, Sam Orm, and Trevin Lindhart. Those are the guys that we plucked out of the transfer portal. Anyway, Fred told us yesterday he's excited with the additions that they have made during this offseason.
Trevin is the exact type of player we were looking for with the roster that we have coming back, with Price, with Braden, with Connor coming back. When we picked up Sam, we needed a point guard that was going to be a playmaker, and you look at his assist-to-turnover ratio, top 20 in the nation last year at 6 assists per game. He can shoot the ball. He's very efficient in his game. Defensively, he's got really good hands. He was up around 2 steals per game. So really excited about the addition of Trev. He's older, been a part of a winning program, back-to-back regular season champs at Utah Valley, and was very well coached. So excited about that addition. Taj was a later pickup for us, but very important, and another high assist player, very good assist to turnover ratio, a guy that can make shots. Didn't have a real high volume of 3-point shots, but he shot a high percentage. A guy that can really get downhill and get into the paint. We felt that was a huge need for us as we were putting our roster together. Comes from a great defensive system, playing at San Diego State, and a guy that I'm really, really excited about. And, I think his best basketball is in front of him. Sam Orm fits us to a T with his ability to shoot it. Second team all-league. Another guy that comes from a winning program. All 3 of those guys that I've talked about here to start. 40% three-point shooter and a high-volume three-point shooter as well. The thing that I think with Sam, he's sneaky athletic, is the best way to put it, I guess. I think he had more dunks than all of our team combined a year ago, and he can play make as well. He averaged about an assist and a half per game, and played in a very similar system. They play 5 out at Belmont, and again, I think the world of how he was coached and everything that they went through with that program, the culture. And just a huge addition for us as well. A guy I think that can play all over the court. On the front line, I feel really good about our additions with Bowden Kepke. Bowden is a guy, he's been here for probably the last week. He was really the first guy that got into town. We can't work with him yet. He's been shooting with our managers. And, from everything I've heard, he's really shooting the ball at a high rate. He took 3 threes per game, 33%, which is solid. His numbers went up as he played in league. I believe it was 12.5 and almost 7 per game in ACC play, and in a big, strong physical body that moves really well. So I'm excited about Bowden. And then Damon, from South Dakota State, again, another late pickup for us. But when you can get a guy that averaged almost 14 points per game that went up to 16.5 in league play, really efficient around the basket. He's a guy that I think can get you a basket on the post. Wasn't a three-point shooter, but he shot 72% from the line. So I think it's in there. The development part is going to be huge for Damon once we get started next week. But, a guy that can really rebound the ball as well, and another great addition for us on the front line. And when you lose Rink and you lose Burke, that was a huge need for us. I'm excited about Leo and what he's going to be able to do. He had a really good last couple weeks before the guys went home when we resumed our spring workouts. So I feel good about our front line. And then the last thing, our freshmen. I know I've talked about those guys, but Jacob Lanier coming off back-to-back state championships, Player of the Year in the state of Arkansas, and 28 points per game this past year, and most valuable player in the state tournament as well. And then Colin Rice had a 50-point game in the sub-state game. I scored 52 in that same game when I was. I just kidding. But anyway, he's obviously a guy that can really shoot the ball and score the ball. So I think the players that we got, number one is about do they fit the culture, and what is very important, what I thought was great early in the process with our team a year ago is how bought in those guys were with all of our culture meetings, with everything that we were trying to establish in that regard. We are going to have to make up with some leadership. When you lose Sam and you lose Rink, that's a big question mark going into this season, is who is going to emerge as the leaders. Obviously Price, Kale, Braden, getting Connor back on the floor, those are the really important ones. And in my mind, you've got guys that have played meaningful minutes in the Big Ten, in the NCAA tournament. But I've got great confidence in Trev and in Taj. Guys are going to have the ball in their hands. They're going to have to step up and be leaders for us as well. So, again, I really am excited about what we've got. You fully don't know until you get on the floor with your team. We're going to start that on the 11th. So our guys get to town. They'll start filtering in here in the coming days, and then they'll do medicals starting on Monday, the 8th, and we'll have that first workout on the 11th.
Again, Husker head coach Fred Hoiberg joining us for a few minutes on the show today as they get ready for their summer workouts. We talked about the schedule and what the guys are going to be looking forward to in the next couple of weeks.
But they changed the rule this year, so you have 8 hours total, and you can break that up any way you want. It used to be 4 in the weight room and 4 on the court. Now you can use as much as you want in the weight room. You can break it up however you want. So, early on in June, it's going to be a lot in the weight room. That's how we've always structured it. I think it's really important to build their bodies up with the load that they're going to put on their bodies over the course of the long season, and a lot of skill development. We'll start putting in our offensive and defensive systems, but it's a lot more about building their bodies up and getting individual skill work, really getting our eyes on them and working with them on the fundamentals. And as we get into June, as we transition from June to July, then we'll really start competing and getting after it. And that's where I think you learn the most about your team. We're going to see, obviously, in a controlled setting, what they're all about, how they communicate with each other, the attention to detail on what we're putting in, who's picking things up, who needs more reps, and that type of thing. And then when you get up and down, it's a whole new, you get a whole new set of data on the players with how they handle stressful situations. And then you get a few weeks off, and then they'll be back before you know it. On August 24th, I think, Seamus, is the first day of the fall semester, and, the season's going to be here before we know it. But, again, we'll learn a lot just from the makeup of the guys. But, again, we have really high character people that we put when we put this team together, and that was important. I know how much fun, these last couple teams have been to pull for. Talked to a lot of Husker fans that just, have absolutely loved pulling for these guys, and we wanted to have a similar type makeup with the group that we put together, and I think we've accomplished that.
Nebraska men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg. Of course, the Huskers, great season a year ago, 28-7. Advanced to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA men's college basketball tournament. Now they're kind of retooling for the 2026-2027 season, and it starts next week as the guys start their summer workouts. So here it is, June. Here it is, June. We're talking about Husker basketball in June. Oh, yeah, by the way, we got a football season coming up here in a couple of months, too.
Yeah, I guess, success breeds the attention, right? Nebraska makes the Elite Eight in basketball. We've been just so shitty in football the last 25 years that it doesn't really matter anymore. And when you have a team that goes to the Sweet 16 and a team that has some excitement, then yeah, you start talking about Husker hoops in the summer. Is it sustainable? I don't know. Is it something like I'm going to be geared up to talk every June about Husker hoops? Probably not. But right now they've got the spotlight, and rightfully so. I think in terms of the men's sports, Husker hoops was arguably the most successfll out of the bunch, and so they're the ones that have all the attention right now in the media, and rightfully so. So I'll say this about Husker sports because it deserves to be talked about. We were on the offensive left guard by this point in terms of our offensive depth chart breakdown last year of Husker football, and we were drinking Roule-Aid by Memorial Day, right? And that hasn't been the case, and I'm okay with that because I'm okay with a team that goes under the radar, that has zero expectations, very similar to basketball. We didn't talk about basketball till freaking January when we're like, oh, look at the standings. We're actually a pretty good basketball team, right? Oh, crap, we're cracking the top 25. We're undefeated in non-conference. But what's going on? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with flying under the radar this year in the football and just being pleasantly surprised. Will it happen? I doubt it. But yeah.
We'll talk football, obviously, coming up.
I think.
But it can sit on the back burner until
But it's been
July.
on like everybody's back burner, and it's not a normal thing.
Yeah, this is the time period in June where we start scrambling for things to talk about because things are winding down, obviously, for the spring. We get into the summer season and not a whole lot going on, sprinkled with some major events throughout the summer. But, yeah, sports talk shows like this one, we tend to start dabbling into the next season, and that's football. On a normal year, that's what we would do. We'd be probably talking football in June.
Well, we are going to be here in the second half of the show.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Shrine Bowl, which is coming up on this Saturday in Kearney. Josh Lewis, who's the Adams Central head football coach. He's one of the 6 assistant coaches for the South team, which is being led by Jamie Offner out of Seward. So that is coming up in the second half of the show here today, so stick around for that. 7:28 as you wake up with Mike and Tyson this morning. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, as slow as it's been in the sports world, it's equally slow on the news department, too. Governor Jim Pillen celebrated a new Nebraska law aimed at expanding private sector assistance for utility customers while also promoting growth in the state's energy and technology sectors. Yeah, this is our top story today. The measure encourages additional private investment in energy assistance programs and supports efforts to make rising electricity demand for industries, including artificial intelligence. Pillen says the law strengthens Nebraska's public power system while helping attract new economic development. Supporters say the measure will improve reliability and affordability as energy needs continue to grow across the state. And we've got an update from a heavy police presence in Kearney on Sunday. It all stemmed from a report of an armed individual inside a vehicle. Authorities say officers received the call at around 2 o'clock and conducted a high-risk stop, removing 2 men from an SUV at gunpoint. After an investigation, officers found no weapon and made no arrests. Police say the scene was secured without injury, and there was never an ongoing threat to the public. The incident remains under review. It is now 7:30. Straight away, we go to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Well, sports today brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. You can check them out at bamboospa.website or on Facebook. Nebraska's softball associate head coach and pitching coach Lori Simple is retiring. Simple played 4 seasons at Nebraska from 1985 to 1988. Before serving on the coaching staff for 37 years from 1990 to 2026. including the final 23 seasons as associate head coach, and her 41 total seasons with the program as a player and a coach. Simple helped the Huskers to 1,449 wins, 18 conference titles, 26 NCAA tournament appearances, and 6 trips to the Women's College World Series. Dylan Carey of Nebraska has been named a finalist for the 2026 Brooks Wallace Award, given each year to the top shortstop in the country. Carey hit .353 this year with 16 doubles, 2 triples, 15 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 53 runs scored. In the field, he committed just 4 errors in 216 chances. Nebraska Kearney head football coach Ryan Held has announced that running back Isaiah Harris will return to the program this fall. Harris was granted a waiver from the NCAA to play in 2026. He suffered a season-ending knee injury in the third quarter at Washburn last fall. To that point, he led the MIAA in rushing with 698 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also had 5 receptions for 34 yards. Texas Tech will play Texas tonight in the first game of the championship series at the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. It's a rematch of last year's championship series when the Longhorns beat the Red Raiders in 3 games to win their first national championship in the program's history. Hastings Sodbusters lost to the Grand Island Fightin' Cranes 7-3 last night at Ryder Park. Same 2 teams will play tonight at 7 o'clock. In the first game of the Stanley Cup final last night, Las Vegas beat Carolina 5-4. Game 2 tomorrow night in Carolina. The first game of the NBA Championship Series will be played tonight as New York is at San Antonio. Tip-off will be at 7:30 on ABC. To check in your sports headlines now at 7:33 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Wednesday brings us temperatures back into the 80s, and guess what? More chances for showers and thunderstorms. Hey, everybody, Tim Jones here. 83 is the high today. Southeast winds about 10 to 15, some gusts to 20 miles per hour. Partly sunny skies, and then we increase chances for showers and thunderstorms this evening and overnight, especially to the west and northwest of the Tri-Cities. 62 overnight, 83 on Thursday. More chances for some hit-or-miss showers and thunderstorms, and that'll carry into Thursday night as well.
We've got southeast winds this morning at 9 miles per hour. It is clear. It is 63 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Looking for the perfect way to spend your Friday night in Hastings? Head just east of town on J Street and experience the excitement of Cam Raceway. Every Friday night through August, Cam Raceway brings you a full evening of grassroots racing on Nebraska's fastest 8th-mile dirt track. You'll see it all. Stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, junior cage karts, adult flat karts, and junior flat karts. Catch all the local drivers, all competing for the win under the lights. Gates open at 7 p.m. and racing gets underway at 8 p.m. And the best part, admission is just $10 and kids 12 and under get in free with a paying adult. So this Friday night, skip the routine and make your way to Cam Raceway where the engines fire up, the dirt flies, and the whole family can enjoy a night at the races.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
This summer, baseball lives on Extreme Sports. Extreme Sports is your exclusive home for American Legion Baseball, bringing you every big moment from Hastings 5 Points Bank, Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes, and Hastings Runza. From the first pitch of the regular season to the intensity of the postseason, we've got it all covered. Every game, every inning, every highlight. Don't miss a single thing this summer. American Legion Baseball lives right here on Extreme Sports.
And Legion Baseball will continue tonight on Extreme Sports. It'll be Hastings against North Platte out at Duncan Field. Juniors game will go at 5 tonight with the seniors to follow at 7:30 on the air with a pregame at 4:45 this afternoon on your exclusive home for Legion Baseball for the summer of 2026. Extreme Sports, North Platte, Hastings coming up today beginning at 4:45. I want to mention this, a special event coming up in the city of Hastings on Sunday, June the 14th. It's going to be Vintage Wheels Timeless Appeal. It's going to be a classic car show, motorcycle show. It's going to be held at District 14 Bar and Pizza and Sunflower Kitchen. That's out at 1105 Theater Drive in Hastings. Going to have classic cars, motorcycles. You can enjoy some carnival games, water games, great food from several different food trucks, including Pitbull Catering, Serrano's Mexican Grill, and the Lemonade Shack. Registration will begin at noon with the show running from 1 until 5 on the Sunday, June 14th. The entry fee will be $15 per car or motorcycle. And best of all, the free will donations will benefit the Children's Hospital in Omaha through the Children's Miracle Network. So it's going to be a good time, family type entertainment. And best of all, we're going to benefit a good cause, the Children's Hospital in Omaha through the Children's Miracle Network. If you want some more information or like to pre-register for the car and motorcycle show, you can contact Jana, and her email address is jjzexter, ZECKSER, @gmail.com. So put it on your calendar. It's about a couple of weeks away. Sunday, June 14th, Vintage Wheels and Timeless Appeal. That's out at the District 14 Bar and Pizza, Sunflower Kitchen at 1105 Theater Drive in Hastings.
Have any vintage cars you're going to submit?
Oh, God. Do we have an old car around that we could maybe put on display?
I don't know. Like
You're driving something different. Last time I was over in the Western Studios, what happened to your car?
That's a that's a whole nother story. We got a few minutes. I'm gonna hit the comment section here really quick.
Yeah.
Ryan Martin on YouTube is chiming in on a few things. Royals were up 3-0 last night on the Cincinnati Reds. They blew another save. They lost 4-3. Pathetic, he says, and he says the Jayhawks could beat the Royals right now. Jayhawks, of course, getting set for their Lawrence Super Regional this weekend against the Sooners of Oklahoma. They're probably, I'll say it, they're my favorite right now. If I'm going to bandwagon on a baseball team, it's
Kansas?
It's the Jayhawks. Their field is kind of stupid. They have a building out in right field that protrudes past the foul pole. It's the weirdest setup in the world, but whatever. I'll cheer for Kansas. I'm also going to be cheering hard for the Oregon Ducks. Obviously, they're playing Texas, so anybody but Texas. I could take the field right now as long as Texas doesn't make the damn tournament. But yeah, go Jayhawks against Oklahoma in that super regional field. The car, yeah, that was a whole nother story. Pops had to go to Missouri on a family deal, and my car has had the lowest mileage, and just got a fresh tune-up. Was all ready to roll. It broke down.
On the trip, Pops took it?
Yeah, on the trip, got stranded in some BFE town in Ozark, Missouri. Had to spend an extra day. Anyways, Dad got a new truck, and so I was borrowing his truck for a while, but the car has since been returned.
Oh, good.
So, yes, we are. Nice. But I don't know. I would consider 2012 at this point to be vintage. Hell, I listened to what is considered to be quote-unquote oldies radio. I heard Goo Goo Dolls the other day and about crapped myself because I'm like, that's not oldies. So I guess you could consider my 2012 to be vintage at this point.
We can maybe put your car in the car show.
So, yeah.
Shine her up.
We'll submit that.
Shine
so there you go.
Up. 7:42, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. A huddle up on Extreme Sports. The Shrine Bowl coming up this Saturday at Ron and Carol Cope Stadium in Kearney, Foster Field. Josh Lewis, the head coach for the Adams Central football team, is one of the assistant coaches for the South. Had a chance to meet up with him yesterday to talk about the preparations for the ball game. I spent a couple of minutes with Adams Central head football coach Josh Lewis this week, an assistant coach for the South team in the 68th Annual Shrine Bowl Football Classic that will be held on Saturday in Kearney. Coach, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us, and good morning to you.
Yeah, you bet. Good morning. Glad to be available here.
Josh, talk about coaching in the Shrine Bowl. Obviously, a big honor for you as a coach, getting to be an assistant coach on the South team this year.
Yeah, we kind of get the notification a year ahead of time, and when they called last summer, it was obviously something I was excited to get the opportunity to do, and we talked to our kids, and we had our first meeting. We all kind of expressed a highlight of our careers, and for myself and the other coaches, this is obviously will be one of our highlights of our career. Being able to be part of such a great game and a great event like this. So yeah, absolutely excited. And getting here, it's been a great time these first few days here.
Yeah, I know it's still early in preparation for the game on Saturday, but how has the week gone for you?
Yeah, we roll in Sunday and kind of hit the ground running, and we had 2 practices that day, and it's kind of, we're in a routine now of practice, eat, go to bed, and that's kind of what it's been. But it's been great. Coach Offner from Seward is the head coach, and he organized good. Practices are well run. The kids are great, outstanding individuals. I mean, obviously that's part of the criteria to be here. And the kids that we've been interacting with this week, they definitely have high character kids, and so it's been a good first few days getting to know kids and getting to know other coaches, and building that camaraderie that, hopefully will pay off for us on Saturday.
Like you mentioned, you're basically going through 2 days this week in preparation for the game on Saturday. The 2 days this week, is it similar to a fall camp for, let's say, your own team at Adams Central?
Yeah, what NSAA a few years ago changed. It makes it hard to do 2-a-days the way we used to when I was a kid. They limit your contact and stuff, and at this stage we're kind of doing the old 2-a-days. Yeah, so we kind of strap it up and get after it, and it's very reminiscent of that. And these kids, we try not to beat them up too much. They know how to play the game, so just kind of run through, knock the rust off a little bit, and let them run wild. So yeah, it's a busy couple practices.
When you put this team together during the winter and the early part of spring, what was in mind in putting the South team together this year?
Yeah, so they send you a list. Coaches nominate kids, and we kind of go through. We met as a staff. I don't know. It was a while ago, and we go through the list, and we each coach kind of was responsible for a position group. My group specifically was linebackers, so watched a lot of film on all those guys that were nominated, and kind of you set up your priority list, and then there's some constraints there on you have to have a couple of 8-man guys, you have to have a couple guys from west of a certain line, and I can't remember where all that is now off the top of my head, but you get a complex little puzzle to try to put together there, and obviously you want your group to have all the dudes, and a lot of these guys are two-way players, so a lot of times the defensive guys and offensive guys are arguing who gets what guy, and but it was good. It was a fun process. As a coach, you watch a lot of your own film and your opponent's film, but you don't really get to watch other kids play. So for me, that was kind of fun to see all the kids that don't normally get to watch through the regular season.
Jamie Opner again, the head coach at Seward, is the head coach of the South All-Stars for the Shrine Bowl game. You got 6 assistants helping Jamie out. How are you guys kind of dividing up the duties as a coaching staff?
Yeah, we got we did, like I said, kind of earlier, we split up kind of positionally. There's 4 of them doing the offensive side of the ball, O-line, and then our kind of running back, H-back type guys, receivers, and then we have 3 on the defense at each level, 1 D-line, linebacker, and secondary, and then we all just kind of took a special teams group, so we kind of split up the punt and kickoff and all that good jazz, and so yeah, it was just we Coach Opner did a good job putting us together. When we filled out the sheets and kind of what we were comfortable with coaching, I don't think there was a lot of concern as to who was going to coach what. It was pretty clear, like, this guy's a D-line guy, this guy does work with secondary, whatever. So yeah, it was good, pretty seamless, pretty easy to do. Again, most of it just boiled down to what guys who got what on what side of the ball. So no, yeah, it's been a great group of guys to work with. I enjoy picking their brains and trying to learn from them, but they're good, great dudes.
Of course, all the proceeds from the game go to the Shriners Hospitals. You had time to spend some time with the kids on Monday. What was that experience like for you and the kids?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty powerful. Mason is our little guy named Mason is our team captain this year, and we'd met him before in some of the earlier Shriners dinners they'd had for players and parents, and so it's good to see him. They tell the stories of people that had been, some adults obviously now that they grew up getting help from the Shriners Hospital, and so they told their stories, and then they, kids that are still receiving treatment and help, and so it was cool just to hear their stories, and it's super powerful. The mantra has always been, it's more than a game, and it really is, and it really sunk home the other day. I don't think the coaches, at least on the south side, I don't know if there was a dry eye when it was all said and done. So yeah, it's a pretty powerful event, and it is really more than a game.
We're talking with Josh Lewis. He's the head football coach at Adams Central, part of the South team, the South coaching staff for the Shrine Bowl football game coming up on Saturday. One of the benefits of coaching in this thing, you get to coach Nick Musel one more time. Coach, talk about him. How has he looked so far this week? What's the plans for him for a game time on Saturday?
Yeah, so he's in the receiving group, so he's on the other side of the ball from where I'm at. So a lot of it's just kind of been, a little bit of friendly banter back and forth when we defend a pass well. And, I see him in the hallway. Obviously, we're bunked up here at UNK, and so I'll see him in the hallways a little bit and talk to him. But but it's been good to kind of have him around, and you know, I think it's helped the other kids understand kind of, you know, I'm a different guy sometimes. And I think it helps the kids to be able to go, is that he like that all the time? And I think he's able to kind of jab at me back, and so, you know, it's been good. It's been great to have him here, and we talked quite a bit. And my biggest thing is, you know, I hope when we're done with this, we've built really good relationships with the kids and between the coaches, and you know, having Nick here obviously is a part of that, big part of that relationship piece for me, getting to coach a guy that, you know, just really good kid installed in our program one last time.
Coach, what have you seen out of your South team so far in the first few days of practice?
Yeah, I like our energy. I you know, it's these kids, you know, they came to work. They know what they're doing. They've played enough football, and just, you know, they pick things up real quick. But what has stood out most to me is just the energy. The kids play so hard, and you know, they find the joy in the game. There's, you know, whether it's the offense doing something or defense, there's hooting and hollering every time something good happens. So yeah, I've enjoyed just the energy at practice pretty immensely.
Obviously, a lot of talent up and down the roster here. Just finding a spot for everybody and finding a way to get all these all-stars on the field. Is that the biggest task here?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we kind of try to plan out, you know, who's going to get what reps and how we're going to rotate through all that. And, you know, when you do that selection process, you take a few backups, obviously. And you know, sometimes you get kids. We got a couple kids right now that we're trying to figure out, you know, well, they need to play a little bit offense, but they also need to play defense. And, you know, obviously you get selected for this. We want these kids to have a memorable moment, you know, and get some time out there. And actually that's where we're kind of getting ready here for a scrimmage. And that's what we're talking about right now is who's going to get what reps, how much are we going to see them, and trying to get more of a template for who's going to do what, you know. Sometimes you come down and a kid you thought was going to be a defensive guy ends up being offense and vice versa. And so we're kind of still playing those pieces, but yeah, trying to get these kids in so they're, you know, they get that kind of check that box on their experience for sure.
Without giving away the game plan, what's in store for the South All-Stars? What are we going to see out of these guys?
Yeah, you know, we'll offensively, I think we're just going to, you know, get athletes in space. I think that's kind of the goal in a lot of stuff. Try to push the line, move the line of scrimmage a little bit, and then make it hurt a little. Play action. I don't know. Coach Hoffner will figure that out. And then you know, defensively, we just play fast. Those guys are so, again, they know what they're doing. Don't get in the way. Let them be athletes. They're physical. You can just tell they've gelled pretty quickly, in my opinion. And so yeah, just we're gonna be flying around and having fun, hair on fire.
It's not all business, is it? You guys go out and have a little bit of fun, both as a staff and maybe as a players or the groups, don't you?
Yeah. So we haven't done a ton of like team outing stuff yet. I think today and tomorrow we get into some. We go to like the Big Apple and do some things there. Maybe Top Golf. I've heard there's something that's going on. And get a day at the pool. Get a little bit of time at the pool later. So we'll get some of those team times where we do that. We end our practices with some kind of a game or activity that's usually a little fun. So this morning we just did a chip challenge with a golf ball, trying to see who could land it closest to a spot on the field. And so we've been doing kind of fun little activities like that. And yeah, you know, the coaches, we find time to kind of relax and cut loose and get to know each other in maybe a less structured professional way, and just kind of hang out and yeah, it's good. Great stuff. That's, again, that relationship piece is always important to me, and these guys have been great to get to know.
I'm sure you had a chance to study or at least take a peek at the North team. What about on the opposite side, Coach? What do you see over there?
Yeah, you know, we'll know more after today, I should say. We'll we've hung out with the coaches. We've talked to them quite a bit. The North coaches, really good set of guys as well. And we're this afternoon, we're putting, both of us are putting some stuff on film that we'll get to watch. So I'll know a little more to that probably after today. But you know, they're I would assume they're in the same boat as us. They got dudes that have been, you know, they've excelled in the game of football and excelled as human beings. So, you know, I would guess their Coach Linhart's going to have them ready to roll. And who knows with that Bennington stuff? He's had success, so we'll just have to roll and see what happens, see how we stack up.
Come game day on Saturday, Coach, what do you expect coaching in this thing?
Yeah, I don't really know. I know, in years past I've come to it, and it's always a great event, and it's fun to see the stands just packed with people from across Nebraska to watch these kids, and what really is the premier all-star game in our state. And I'm just excited to kind of get that vibe and see what's going on. So,
all right, Coach, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us. Good luck in the game on Saturday.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Will.
That's Josh Lewis. He's the Adams Central head football coach, serving as an assistant coach for the South All-Stars for the 68th annual Shrine Bowl football game. It's going to be played on Saturday, Ron and Carroll Cope Stadium, Foster Field. Kickoff will be at 4 o'clock. You're listening to Huddle Up this morning on Extreme Sports at 7:56.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Wells, Center Ronnie with you Wednesday morning here on Extreme Sports. Wanted to sneak in Legion Baseball from last night. Hastings 5 Points Bank. They beat Columbus Cornerstone by the score of 7-4 last night. Hastings now 2-3 in the season. They'll play North Platte tonight, beginning at 7:30 out of Duncan. Juniors game, Columbus won. Nebraska beat Hastings Johnson Imperial home 6-2. JIH now 2-3 in the season. They will also host North Platte tonight at 5. We'll have both games coming up for you from Duncan tonight on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame at 4:45 this afternoon. Other action from last night, Grand Island Home Federal defeated Kearney Pinnacle Bank by the score of 8-0. In the juniors game, it was Grand Island 5 Points Bank over Kearney Post 52 by the score of 9-7. Hastings Sodbusters, they lost to the Grand Island Fighting Cranes last night by a score of 7-3. Same two teams will play again tonight, 7 o'clock at Ryder Park in GI. So, brings you up to date on the baseball from last night. Grand Island and Hastings have played in that Diamond League. Let's see, 2 games. Now that's the 3rd game. Now they're playing for the 4th time this season already. At Ryder tonight. So
that get ready for a lot more. GI Hastings. I look at the schedule. It's just like,
I think we play them like 28 times.
It's a lot.
It's insane.
And Grand Island is loaded. So
yeah, you talked about
they're real good
expansion teams and new teams and things like that in the first half of the show today. We were talking about the Las Vegas Golden Knights. What about Grand Island, a new team?
And it's mostly local kids, too. It's mostly local flavor up from Grand Island. Dinkelman, Barrientos is on that squad. A couple familiar names and guys that can studs, man. And, they're loaded.
I think they're like 4-0 or 5-0 on the season. So, anyway, they'll play again tonight at Ryder, beginning at 7 o'clock tonight. So, that will put the wraps on things.
We did it. I made it.
Yeah, you made her through the day.
The over-unders in Vegas weren't very good when I got on the show this morning for the full hour. But
that's why we had plenty of things to talk about today.
I mean, I've been literally under a rock, so I'm glad you kind of carried that.
Yeah, we heard from Fred Hoiberg in the first half of the show today as the Huskers get ready for their summer workouts in Lincoln. They'll begin next week. Heard from Josh Lewis here in the second half as the Shrine Bowl is coming up on Saturday over in Kearney. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 7. If you want to listen to those interviews, listen to the show again, you can. Go to our social media sites, download the podcast, and listen to the show at your convenience throughout the day today. Take your medicine. Take your temperature.
You want to know, this has been my diet. Normally it's coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Good old red Gatorade. It's been a steady diet of red Gatorade, and
it has to be red.
Doesn't have to be, but let's be honest, Fruit Punch is the superior Gatorade flavor.
That's your choice.
It's the superior.
So the doc says lay off with the coffee for a while?
Yeah. Yeah, no coffee for a while. That'll stir up some stuff that doesn't need to be stirred up.
Yeah.
And
so you're just on Gatorade.
The sugars are a no-go for a couple days. So I've been a steady diet of bagels. I never thought I was a bagel guy until I had to start eating them.
Not a big bagel guy.
I honestly, throw enough cream cheese on there, it makes it good.
Listen to your doctor. Listen to mommy.
Old Doc Reimer.
Yeah, listen to your doctor. Listen to mommy. Get plenty of rest. Take your temperature.
Temp's never been bad.
Drink plenty of water.
It's one of those deals, it was very similar to me. If it happens, it happens, right? It sucks, but it's making the rounds. Wash your hands. But if you get it, it's one of those deals where mentally, physically, you're like, oh, I'm fine. I can move around, but you're contagious and you just go into the bathroom a hell of a lot more than you want to. It was very similar to me as my COVID experience where I'm kind of sitting here and I'm I can't do anything. It just wipes you out. And so Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the 3 worst days. Monday and Tuesday, I was just physically and mentally exhausted from being wiped out.
Yeah.
And that's been by far the worst part to overcome. So I'm hoping to slowly building up some strength here, and hopefully by next week we'll be rip roaring and ready to roll.
All right, you made it through the hour. That's the first.
That's a step.
All right, we'll do it again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Huddle up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme.